Hey everybody, welcome back to another drawing tutorial. I'm going to be showing you how to do Mihawk from Dracule Mihawk from One Piece. So it's a wide page. I tried to fit in the handles of his sword at least. I couldn't fit it all in, but because he's got a big hat and stuff. So we're going wide, and we're going to go up to the top half of our page. So there's about the halfway line on my page. And we're just up from that a little bit, just to fit in his hat and some of his hands down here sitting on his knee. So we'll start with his right eyelid as usual. So we're going to go first diagonal up and then bring it across like so, up to a sort of point at the end here. Then his bottom eyelid comes down diagonal this way, and then across from his tear duct into there. In there we have his iris and his pupil. So we have a semicircle line there, another one on the other side. So he's real narrow eyes, that's why we can only see we can't see the top and bottom of his eyes. So then in there we have a pupil. And then another sort of circle around this. So he's got like two circles coming around that pupil there. Kind of like a bullseye for eyes. So then if you want, you can thicken up his eyelid line just up here. Just make it a bit thicker. Make those eyes stand out a bit more. And then he has a couple of light lines just around his eye. Coming around here. Up the side as well. So his eyes are eye distance apart. So you measure one eye. You come over that same distance. And we start the next eye. So we go up diagonal again. This comes over then this direction up to a little spike like this side. And then his bottom eyelid comes down and then around the other side, just there. Then we have his iris inside here. Remember guys, if I go too fast, hit that pause button. And I would recommend pencil and an eraser. You can thicken up his eyelid lines here too. Just making them a bit darker so they stand out. And then we can do that bullseye-like eye in there. So we have his pupil, bang in the middle, just a light dot. And then we'll try and gently go around that again for another circular like shape just around that pupil of his. Like so. Then we can add some of those lines just on the edges. So we're just following around his eye lightly again. Like that. And then we can do his nose. So just here in the middle we have two diagonal lines coming in towards the center. And we have another line here coming down under his eye. Another one on this side. They're kind of sort of frown lines. And then we have his nose coming right down the middle. So we're going to bring this down like so. It's going to curve around the bottom. And then come back up the other side, like so. Pretty close to these frown lines that are here. They could touch, but I think there's a little bit of a gap in the picture that I'm drawing from, so they don't have to meet up here. Then his nostrils, just underneath that, so we have a curved line here. And a curved line just here. underneath. And then just below that, then we have his mouth. Just a simple, serious mouth line. So it comes up, comes across, and down here. Just maybe a couple of lines for his top lip, just there maybe. Then a line for his bottom lip underneath, just there. And then his chin, just down here. He's got kind of a flat chin. It's not pointy really. So the distance from the bottom of his nose to the bottom of his bottom lip there is about the same distance from the bottom lip to the chin. So it's about the same from the nose here. About the same. Might be a little bit longer, but if you're measuring things. And the distance from his eyes to his nose is the same as his nose to his chin. So the nose is halfway between the eyes and the chin, and the bottom of the mouth is about halfway between the nose and the chin. Might be a bit confusing for some people, but that's just some facial proportions if you're trying to figure out the measurements of things. Moving on. Right, so from his chin, we're going to go up the jawline like this. Same way up here. And when we get to about mouth level, we're going to change direction. So normally we'd go off this way if we kept going, but we're going to change direction, and then we're going to go up the side of his face. Like so. Same on this side. And of course, Mihawk has a beard and a mustache. So we're going to do those lines again, sort of coming down the side of his face. So we're going to bring this one down around his eye, like this. Same on both sides, down to here. And then they spike up. So we have one spike here. This one spikes down. Same on this one spikes up here. This one spikes down. And then we're going to bring it down around his face. So running down the side of his jaw. It's going to curve back up to his mouth, both sides, and come back down the other side. And right, his mustache then. So we have curved line down this way. Curves up like so, and then we do the opposite side, spiking up like this. Next line down here, curves up like so, spikes down around to there. And Mihawk has a couple of lines just on the side of his face, just here. Right, so now the peak of his hat comes down across his face. So we're going to go down towards the center, and then we're going to bring it back up the other side. Across his eye. And up here. So we're coming down and then back up the other side. And then just under here we have his ears. So coming from his beard, we're going to curve around down to here, just across from his nose. And then there's lines for bones and ligaments of his ears inside there. So just some curved lines. Curving around like that. Same on the other side. One ear. Then bones and ligaments all inside. Many different ways to do these lines. And then we finish off his hair, just a couple of spikes coming down behind his ears here. like so. Remember guys, hair moves all the time, so don't worry if yours isn't exactly like mine. Hair changes, it's drawn differently. Like if you look at the anime, the drawing changes and stuff. The general character design would stay the same, but things, their hair and stuff like that is different sometimes. Right, so his big hat. So this is like the inside rim. So then the outside rim is going to go like from, so we'll do, so like all the way up from here. And maybe here. So we're going to go up all the way nearly to the corner. Like about there, I would say. And then on this one, we're going to go all the way up to about here. So we're going to curve around up here. And this one's going to curve back around under here. Right, so we'll just do it. So we're going to go first, lining it up. Trying to see if we can get it up to that line up there. Don't worry if it bumps and waves a little bit. It's a hat, it's made of fabric, so there will be natural sort of bumps and stuff on it. So when we get to here, it's going to come back around. And this one's going to curve a little bit. So it's going to curve here, come back down towards his hair. To there. And then this line just comes up a bit longer, and then he has a line that separates the black part of his hat from the red. Just comes down towards his eye, just here. So it's red in here, and then it's black all this side. And then we do this sort of shape over here then. So lining it up every now and then. Just going, traveling up this way. So, just across from one another. And then we're going to bring this down now the other side. And we're going to stop in at his hair just like the other side as well. And then we have just a line that separates, just like this, the black rim from the red underneath. Just there. Now Mihawk has a big sort of feather that's coming out, a big cloudy looking feather coming out from his hat here. So we're going to start from here. Bumping up, it's like a big cloud, so we're going for round sort of shapes like this. Up and around, bumping down, and then it's going to come down the other side around here, and it'll come down so far and it's going to hit his shoulder. So it'll hit his shoulder about here. And then, so the rest of his hat, so we're going to have the top part, we're going to do one bump here, next bump over here, and then this is going to travel down to about here, and then we'll close off this with a line towards the rim of his hat just here, like so. Okay, so his clothes and then his sword. So he's a big collar, touches his hat just here. it's going to come down like so. Same on this side. Curve down this way. And then we bring it down in towards his neck. Down like that. So it's like a number 7. And then this one comes down. Pretty similar. Number 7. Like that. It has a black rim on the inside with red as well. So this comes down. Just doubling up that line. This one comes down like so. And then these come down like this. Now inside here we can see his neck. So do a curved line from his ear, just here. Same one here. And then we have some lines for neck muscles. So we have one coming down from his jaw, just coming down in here. One coming down in there. Another one there. One coming down from his ear. Same on that side. Up here. And then we can see the top of his chest muscles just in here. So we're going to bring this across. And down. And then go across the other way. Now, so his shoulders come across here. This bumps back in for his waistcoat. So he's got a black waistcoat and a red shirt. Just comes all the way down this way. And then his shoulder come here. Bump for his clothes there. And then down to his elbow, just down here. This one stops because it meets his wrist. And his hands are clasped together, kind of like this, like he's praying. So, same on the other side. So we'll do his waistcoat. Stops, meets his wrist here. Shoulder comes off. We have a bump for clothes. And this one comes down to his elbow. So then, this is going to come down like so. It's going to meet his hand. So his hand is kind of higher up on this side. So this one goes down further. So his fingers are clasped together, right? Like he's praying. So we got to do crisscross fingers. So take your time with this. Fingers are tricky. So we'll start here with his index finger just from this line here. So we're going to curve this around for his fingernail. And then this comes up. And across for his knuckle. The underneath of that finger then is under the fingernail. Comes up here. Touches that next knuckle line. And then it's going to come down this way. Down to the next finger. This is going to curve around for the next fingernail. And then this curves up and under this way. Like so. There's another finger actually just up on top here, so we're going to bring this one up. And then it comes down. It's going to meet another fingernail just here where this fingernail stops. So this one curves around. And then the bottom of his finger just here. Right, so we're going 1, 2, 3, 4. Next one. So it comes across this way to the next fingernail, just there. Bottom of his finger comes underneath. This comes up to here. Becomes the next finger then. Down like so. Fingernail, just there. Bottom of his finger comes up. So as you see, we're getting bigger as we go down because the fingers are getting closer to us. So This one comes up like so. This one comes across to here. Fingernail. This one goes down here. Comes up like so. And then maybe we can see a little finger just down here as well. Now, so there, his fingers all crisscrossed together. And then the back of his hand is going to come down like so. The back of his hand is going to come down on this side. It's going to come down like in here. And then come down to his wrist and into his sleeve there. And then this sleeve is just here, so 2 curved lines, and then this comes down to there. And maybe we can see just another line for finger somewhere in here. Or is it his knee? Maybe it's his knee. Just there. There should be one more finger here though, so I'm gonna add it in. So just the tip curve for the tip just there, and maybe a fingernail just there. And then his other sleeve just here. And some knuckle lines. Skin on his knuckles, just curving around where you see bends on his fingers. Right, so in here he's got his crucifix that he wears on his chest. So you can just see 2 lines coming up, 2 lines coming across. Like this, and then the one on top, a box on top, like this. And then the chain that comes off around his neck. So this is going to go from here, like so, this way, and then the other one, the other side. And then we can see some more chest muscle, just there, and underneath, just down here for the bottom of it. We can see just some of his chest muscle there, and some lines just for his nipple, just in there. And right, so then on his clothes, he has all patterns and designs. So you could just color red, or you could draw these in. It's up to you. So I'm going to go ahead and draw them in. So up here we have concentric circles, 2, 3, 4. Then there's like flower-like shapes as well. So more circles, but this one has bumps for flowers. And they're drawn very simply, kind of childlike sort of shapes. So you could do these any old way you wanted, really. And then circles. And then on his shirt here as well. So big ones on his shoulder pads. Just here. Like so. And there's like a flower inside this one. Kind of cloud-like shapes here. With a kind of a rope coming down, so it kind of bumps down. Then on top as well. And then these all join together. More cloud-like kind of shapes here. Coming around. Like so. Circles. flowers, more circles. Ta-da, one here. And then more over this side too. Some more circle-like ones here. We got a flower. Circles. And that's the basic idea for his shirt. So now we can just see some of his sword, the handles of it, the hilt of it, the golden part, just coming from the back of this. So you can get your ruler for this or try and free-handed, it's up to you. So we're gonna bring a line this way, bring a line that way, and then these spike up. So we're gonna spike this like so, spike this end back down, and then we're gonna join these together with a curved line. If we can. It curves like so, and then it actually bumps in the middle and then curves back around the other side like that. Same shape pretty much on the other side of the page. Straight line across, coming out from his hat. And then we're going to curve it up. Curve it up here. And then we're going to bring him around like the other side. Bumping. Bumping like so. And then we have an inner part with circles and stuff inside. So another line here. And then this is going to come in and go around. So we're just going to round this shape again, following that line we did before. Like so, and then there's circles inside. I think they're jewels actually. We do the same on this side. So an inner line here, and then we bring it around. And then the jewels inside here. And then there's kind of ornate patterns and lines and stuff all on this. And you can do this many, like Kind of looks like joined writing or just scribbles, kind of just this kind of thing. And they kind of overlap sometimes one another. Sort of like this. Just these sort of squiggly lines. I guess they're supposed to represent patterns along the golden part of his sword. So you can really just make this up however you feel looks best. And then we can just see maybe the handle of a sword. Just the white, I think it's a white handle anyway, just coming up that way. And that's it. That's how to draw Mihawk from One Piece. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video.